Hey guys, PeeCarNoo here, bringing you another GTA 5 little tips, little tricks, and today we've got something quite important, quite special actually, which I did discover a few months ago, but I'm bringing it into a video now because, you know, it was actually quite interesting to see watching back at the video. Now, what the basis of the video is, the Rapid GT, we know, as a car in this game, it is horrendous in terms of understeer, in terms of the chassis. It's so rigid over bumps. You don't know what it's going to do. You don't know if it's going to throw you off the road or if it's going to hug you like a teddy bear at night. But the main thing is that the car is just horrible to drive over bumps, and you can tell by this clip now that the car is completely, you know, it's new. It's just been respawned. It hasn't got a scratch on it, and the whole point of this video is, can damaging the Rapid GT actually change the characteristics of the car? Can it perform the car better? Can it actually get a faster lap time? And, you know, I've got something quite surprising in the video, which, you know, I didn't think was even possible. But this car is, like I said, is such an understeering car. It's absolutely horrendous. It just feels awful to drive. Like the Massacro understeers, but it's manageable, you know, it's like safe understeer. This car here, I don't know what Rockstar were thinking. It's like they put logs at the front of the car or something, and it was just horrendous. So now what we'll get, this is basically a lap of the Apex Predator track, which you guys are familiar with, some of the testing that I do, so I'll leave a link to it. And this is just basically a lap of actually the best time that I could possibly get with this car. It seems quite scrappy, but this car is so unpredictable. You cannot be judgmental in terms of your lines that you take. You cannot predict the lines that you're going to take, but it does manage to get a 151.7, which you can see on screen. Now it's time for the wrecked Rapid GT, and I will show you what I did before the race to actually get it into this sort of tune, if you can call it a tune. But now you can see the car itself. Obviously I will be doing a side-by-side comparison, but in this clip I'm going to show you a full screen advantage of it. But you can see the car itself just digs into the road. Look at this way it goes up here. It just absolutely claws the tarmac. You can actually see the car is actually sitting down. It's like nose heavy, and it just makes the back so much more easier to get the back going and get the back helping you with the corners. And the front is just really allowing the car just to dig into the tarmac and actually find the grip, and the back is really loose, it's really lifted, and that's important. You know, we like that in a car. We want the car to be agile in corners. We don't want it to have McDonald's trays under the front wheels. We just want the car to perform well, and by doing this, guys, you know, you are going to be shaving a hell of a lot of time on your tracks. Now, I'm going to say something. You could argue this is a bit pointless because let's face it, which guy goes into a race and wrecks his car into a wall a couple of times? But that's not the general idea of the video. The general idea of the video is just to show you the Rapid GT is able to actually perform well, and it is able to change the characteristics of its own self just by, you know, a few dents and a few scratches on the bumper. So it just goes to show. Now, would this work with any car? Not really, because, you know, if you had like the 9F, which we know is just a perfect balance of oversteer, understeer, and you damaged it, you're just ruining, you know, the whole point of the car. This would only work really for understeer cars like Ferrari GT. That would actually work quite well because that's another understeering car. But as you can see, I only did this in, you know, I only discovered this, like I said, a few months ago, and I did a few laps, and I got a 1 minute 49.3. And this is showing now what I did to actually achieve that result. And what I did is basically just go into a barrier, you know, not that much of a distance away, and just hit the barrier about 3 to 4 times, just to get the nose of the car really shortened, and just allow the sort of chassis in GTA to sort of go AWOL and just absolutely go crazy. But as you can see now, we've got a side-by-side comparison of the two. Obviously we've got the wrecked Rapid GT, the damaged one, on the left hand side, and we've also got the new spawned Rapid GT, which you saw in the first clip, on the right hand side. So as you can see from these checkpoints already, the wrecked car itself is just turning into the corner so much better, and it's crazy to see them side by side. You know, it's really good to see two comparisons of the same car in a side-by-side comparison. But like I said, I just felt more confident with the car. It felt like a proper rear-driven car. It felt nimble. You know what this car reminded me, guys? This car reminded me of a 9F. I'm not even joking, because this car can still understeer like the 9F couldn't understeer, but it does oversteer. It can snap at you really well, and you sort of like that in the car, because you know if you need to let go of the throttle, then the back end will start to slide out. Whereas on a brand new spawned Rapid GT where it's untouched, it just doesn't work. And for those that are going to be asking what tyres were I using, I was just using tuner wheels, like I mentioned in a previous video, and how they're beneficial in terms of sport racing. I will leave a link to that video. But as you can see, it's just a neater lap. I tried my hardest to get under the 150s in a new spawned Rapid GT, and I could not get a clean lap with this car. It's so difficult to do. But you can just see the Rapid GT, the damaged one, just absolutely pull away at the end. And what I'm actually going to do now, guys, I'm just going to show you like a side-by-side sort of slalom, imaginary slalom test, if that actually makes sense. So what you'll see now on screen is the two cars just going left, going right, trying to approach the finish line, but I'm just basically throwing the car left and right as quick as I can. And as you'll probably see now on screen, the Wreck GT just is so much more nimble and absolutely kills it, guys. But yeah, guys, that's just a little tip. If you do want to use the Rapid GT, I think it's an awesome car to look at. I think it's an awesome car to drive when it is damaged. Unfortunately, when it's damaged, it's not that good to look at, but you can't have best of both in this world. But yeah, guys, it's a really nice, fun little video for you guys. Something new in GTA 5. I don't think anyone's covered that. So I appreciate the support, guys, over the last few days. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Cheers.